Hey, we're live. Hi, this is James O'Keefe. I'm captain of the Massachusetts Pirate Party. I'm joined by Joe and Malt. How's everybody?
I got a haircut.
It looks like more than one.
Thank you.
And Joe, you're on mute.
Your mic is pointing to the ceiling.
This mic isn't real.
Okay.
Better mic further away to make my voice that much less annoying. Sometimes. But I am, thank you for pointing that out to me. I am fluffy and fabulous and very angry at today's events.
Yeah.
Aggressiveness.
Speaking of anger as a transition, how have your crypto investments been doing?
Mine? I can neither confirm nor deny that I have any crypto.
Yeah, so, right, you were part of crypto.
But if I do, they're above water. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, you bought it when they were a nickel a piece. So.
Not quite, but yeah. Early on.
Oh man, like I heard about the dude trading it for pizzas, and I was like, that's silly. This is gonna get silly. And oh my god, it is so far beyond silly. It is ridiculous.
So can you give us some background on what's going on, Malt?
Yes, the price of Bitcoin has been in free fall since the 8th. The 8th. It was at 58,700,000. It is now at 37,400. 37,400 per coin. And the problem with this dip is that there is no upward pressure. Earlier, the price spike that we've seen over the past year is basically due to people having stimulus money. And now that the stimulus money is gone and states are canceling increased unemployment and everybody's getting forced back into work, there's no like funny money to gamble with. The other big thing is that China has increased regulation and is very much trying to stop all domestic mining in the country because it is so energy intensive. And China was a significant supplier of network strength for Bitcoin and by extension, most of the other altcoins. I think at one point they had over 50%. I think there was at one point where it was like one mining pool in China had over 50%. And that terrified everybody. But so you've got a lot of them down. Sorry.
No, I mean, my understanding is there really are only two mining pools, and that they control the largest, the vast overwhelming majority of all the computation for Bitcoin. Which, when you're concerned about the Federal Reserve being the only one who can print money, having two isn't a markedly bigger improvement. But
like it's so fascinating to have watched this experiment basically prove why financial regulation exists in the first place. It is like a whole ass Terry Pratchett novel. Like Terry Pratchett, as the genius as he is, could never have imagined human asininity at the scale of Bitcoin. So yeah, if you are still holding assets, oh buddy, like you're stuck with the bag, man. This was always going to be the end case scenario, is that it's just a speculative bubble and all of like the mom and pop folks are going to lose their friggin' shirts on it. Hey, speaking of friggin' losing their shirts on it, Jamie, what was it that you were talking about earlier about that DeFi?
Oh, right. So apparently there was I think you know more about this than I do, Malt. So why don't you go? Why don't you talk about it?
DeFi Capital was one of those exchanges that everybody was hyping up as being like reliable and backed in cash, and they pulled an exit scam. they fucked off with like $30 million and there's no recourse for anybody.
Well, I don't know if there's no recourse for anybody. If you can find them, I'm sure some people would break kneecaps should they choose, though, I don't recommend that.
We're dealing with like internet libertarians. These guys are soft. Like I don't even expect them to file like an actual lawsuit. Like what was the end result when Mount Gox collapsed? Like I think one dude had to go before Japanese legislature to talk about Bitcoin, and then that was it. Like I think that was the worst case that happened to him. So, nah, man, they're gone. Like if they actually ran this company with their like real information, they're idiots. But I don't think that happened.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. As with any financial institution, you need to know who the people are, so you can at least sue them, if not other more charitable means or less charitable means. But so one thing that I read about was so recently the FBI gained access to the Apple account of Alexandra Elbakyan, who was the founder of SciHub, which is doing the great work of taking all of these free science papers that were given to like Elsevier and other websites to then put under lock and key and charge people and institutions exorbitant quantities of money to be able to access these files. She went and put them into SciHub so anyone could find them, anyone could get them. And now some folks are trying to take that data and torrent it and be able to create ultimately a decentralized version of SciHub. So you can't have a single point of failure. You can't have the FBI and the Department of Justice go after someone in another country for things they don't like, or for harming the profits of businesses.
Seems we just lost Jamie.
Yeah, like what he was saying, SciHub is an ostensibly illegal site. The government has been conspiring to shut it down for some time. If you care about open source anything, you should care about SciHub, because it is an effort to open source like actual verifiable scientific information and not just Wikipedia. No offense to Wikipedia, but
Wikipedia is anyone can edit Wikipedia.
Anyone does edit Wikipedia. I edit Wikipedia.
Everyone does.
Like, I honestly feel bad for anyone using Wikipedia looking for information on old anime from the 70s and 80s, because I am responsible for terrible crimes against history.
I'm sure somebody's come along to try and fix things, but we never know.
Like, I don't want to brag, but I have definitely faked entire edit wars between sock puppet accounts of my own. Like, seeded drama across the Japanese city pop fandom.
Welcome back, Jamie.
Oh, hey!
Sorry, I had to switch cameras because my other camera broke. So this one doesn't stay active as long as it should. So anyways, sorry about that. Sorry to get cut off. But thank you, Malt, for explaining what the importance of SciHub is.
Yeah, the reason you brought it up, Reddit, as critical as I am of Reddit, they did something cool for SciHub.
Yes.
What was it? Because I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, so basically, Redditors have launched a rescue mission for SciHub to basically take all of SciHub and make it torrentable, and have it. So far, they have where is it? They have like almost 1,000 people torrenting it and sharing all of the papers and things like that. And their ultimate objective is to create a decentralized SciHub such that the FBI or DOJ or anyone won't be able to take it down, especially out of copyright infringement. And, of course, we know the DOJ and FBI are involved because copyright patents have to be protected no matter what harm it does to the rest of the scientific or scientific community or human society. So
I think it's just so, like, with everything that we just saw with the global community coming together to beat COVID, like, if you still believe in like intellectual property protections for like medical and scientific research, I don't know what universe you're living in. Like, we have a vaccine in a year, and like honestly under a year, because science was able to freely share and quickly access relevant information. So, like, that's why you should care.
Something completely unrelated to this, but did you hear about Amazon's new construction site in Connecticut being shut down?
No.
Because they had to halt construction because there was nooses found.
Yeah, it was like they're like up to 15, weren't they?
Yeah, 9, I think.
9.
sorry, what was found?
So nooses were found all over.
Yes.
And not only that, but Confederate flags and other racist slurs and stuff were found in Connecticut, which you don't think Connecticut is like an overly like this is the line where we're fighting on, but it was apparently it was 7. I got the link right here, so we can sending it over to you guys so that way you can have it in for the link. But yeah, apparently it was first found by a black, a African American worker, or black specifically, like Americanized, not like.
We got you.
I
Man.
don't even know where to go with that, but yeah,
You're okay.
Definitely American. Go American. Yeah. And yeah, just messed up. So they had to shut down construction, which, silver linings, Amazon being slowed down in their never-ending tirade, but I mean, that's not really much of a silver lining, so.
Connecticut's racist as hell.
Is
like,
it?
Rural Connecticut's racist as hell. Suburban Connecticut's racist as hell.
You wouldn't think that, like, Connecticut, it's just south of us.
It's the richest country. It's the richest state in the nation. Of course they're going to be racist.
I thought Rhode Island was.
I don't know. Rhode Island definitely leader in like male enhancement radio ads and also Keno parlors. Oh, so
Marblehead is a beautiful place. Tons of men.
So we missed a detail on our DeFi 100 story.
Yeah.
It looks like, so the website's still down, but the company is claiming that they did not run an exit scam, that the website was hacked and the message was put up by the hackers, but that nothing was stolen. The rumors of 32 millions are absolutely false. Oh, total tokens sold. No. Yeah, there's not 32 million worth of DeFi 100 tokens to steal. So that was overblown.
Right, but at the same time, if their website got hacked, then are you necessarily going to trust that they can, as an exchange, keep your data, keep your Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency secure?
That is an excellent question. I mean, they're two different entities, and you might not have the same level of security on their overall website shell versus their actual exchange server. I mean, a little bit different things. Like, one's just like, hey, we exist, and the other one's like different standard financial information. So I could see that they're not being linked would be a thing, but
One would hope, but it doesn't bode well for their security
It
if
is.
someone
It
could get
is.
in.
It is difficult to overestimate the technical incompetence at play in a lot of these situations. Like Ross Ulbricht, aka Dread Pirate Roberts, the dude who ran that, I don't even remember what darknet market it was. He registered the domain and posted about the darknet using his real name Gmail address, and then kept a text document on his laptop of all of the crimes he committed. It is entirely possible that that website went up with default credentials baked in.
is that the guy that they were after forever? And they surrounded him in a cafe with FBI agents?
It was a library, and yes.
It was the library with the candlestick.
Yeah. There was like, they were worried he was going to close his laptop and then all of his shit would be encrypted. So there was a dude who his job was to grab the laptop out of a nerd's lap as like jocks tackle him, 5 feet from the end zone.
Yeah, he was the one who created a drugstore and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Paid to have people assassinated. Oh, speaking of crypto fuckery, Tether. Tether is something called a stable coin. Basically, it's supposed to help boost the power of Bitcoin by issuing Tether tokens, which are like all equivalent to, like, I think it's supposed to be $1, but only 3% of Tether tokens are actually backed by cash assets. So once again, a coin is blowing smoke up your ass about its financial stability. And the FBI is investigating. So if you still have Tether, why?
So let me ask you a sidewinder question for you gentlemen. This is completely improv. No one is prepared for this one. How do you feel about ethical hacking or hacking for an ethical purpose, as you see sometimes or hacktivism?
I plead the fifth.
It is nice when we see information that was previously secret that reveals the crimes of individuals or governments revealed for all to see. I'll leave it at that.
MK Ultra only got revealed because a bunch of people busted into an FBI headquarters, stole documents, and never got found.
And for those of us who don't know about that full story, could you elaborate?
I mean, like, if you don't know about MK Ultra and you're watching us, I'm deeply, deeply curious as to how that came to be. But basically, the government wanted to use drugs and hypnosis to turn people into like Manchurian Candidate style assassins. Among the less ridiculous assets or aspects of that cockamamie scheme, it's like, if you've seen the 80s show with the kids and the guy who has the good hair.
That narrows it right down.
It's the Netflix show, the only good one that Netflix original series made. It's got the kids. One of them has the weird teeth. Fright Night. Well, never mind. They've got a new season coming out. It's the psychic kid. The girl, bald psychic girl.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Okay.
MK Ultra is the thing from Stranger Things, but real. And not psychic children, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I feel like if psychic children existed, they would have killed me by now.
Unfortunately, our government has looked into seeing if people are actually psychic. That's what the whole George Clooney, the men who stare at goats thing was about.
There have actually been several attempts by the United States government, basically like a wide variety of unrelated 3-letter agencies have experimented with like ESP style communication. It's real wacky. Like, we have a very silly government.
I mean, I suppose if your budget is unlimited. But that being said, we do have some things that did just happen. The pirate moot, how was that? I think we lost Jamie again.
I missed the pirate moot.
Yeah, unfortunately I did too, but I heard that we had quite a few people attend. And then we do have some stuff coming up, and we will post the link and describe it to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great night.
Don't talk to cops.
Everything you can and will be used against you. And actually, believe it or not, none of that will be used for you when you talk to a cop. None of it. So if you were scared, you just tell them you were scared, go to the hospital, or wait for your lawyer.